Dortmund went out in the German Cup at Stuttgart, and there was a massive discussion about their performance afterwards. Playing too defensively, weren't able to create anything almost, and now they lost again 2-3 at home against RB Leipzig. Is it again a full-blown black and yellow crisis, or especially this game against Leipzig? Do we have to take a complete different perspective because they played with 10 men almost 80 minutes because Mats Hummels was sent off for, wie heißt das denn eigentlich, Notbremse, professional foul? For professional foul early on in the game. Where are we now with Borussia again?
Well, I thought that after the defeat in Stuttgart in the Cup, we would have more bad repercussions going into this game. But I think the fact that Hummels was sent off and Dortmund were able to stay in the game and equalize and give Leipzig a hard time, it was a defeat that somehow didn't feel like a real defeat. And I think Terzic, in a way, could show that Dortmund's reaction and their resilience suggested that nothing really is too... nothing is lost. Nothing is fundamentally wrong with this team. They've had a few bad games, yes, but look, we are making progress. And it was a defeat that ultimately didn't feel like a big defeat. And I think in a way he has strangely Mats Hummels to thank for that, because Hummels immediately, so early in the game, changed the whole complexion of it and made it a different kind of game that Dortmund did okay in. I mean, the fact that you're asking the question, Christoph, shows that we are still being dumbfounded by Dortmund, still don't quite understand if they're good, if they're bad, if they're inconsistent, or if there's a consistency inside the inconsistency. In the Champions League, they've been pretty impressive. They will probably have another impressive game against Paris Saint-Germain this week. We'll talk about this later. But they will not win the league and they will not win the cup. So what is left of the season?
What is left of the season is pretty obvious, and that's what we talked about. Süddeutsche Zeitung had a nice headline today saying place 4 is a new place 1. So what we said, I think, weeks ago, the quality of this Borussia Dortmund team, also in context with the huge development at Leverkusen and Stuttgart, means that they really have fight hard to become 4th, and their main competitor is probably RB Leipzig, and so yeah, and if they would not qualify for the Champions League, I think it would be the equivalent of, let's say, Mainz going down to the 2nd division. I mean, to the or other teams going down to the 2nd division, because you lose so much money and everything you are doing is based on being qualified for the Champions League, and your whole story is you are the Bayern Jäger and so on.
Yeah, the one saving grace that might exist is that 5th place could be enough if they and other teams in European competition continue to have good results. The Bundesliga currently on course of winning the 5th spot in next year's rejigged Swiss model extended Champions League format, but there's still a long way to go. And maybe you're right, Christoph. Maybe this will all come down to 4th spot, and then if they miss that, then I think things are bound to change in one way or the other.